Ephesians, Paul's letter to the people in Ephesus, of course, starts off with the typical Thanksgiving and prayer and stuff. I don't want to cover this in years, just talking chapter 1. Because then it just talks about Thanksgiving and prayer, like Paul giving thanks, God praying for them. Oh, well, whatever. It talks about you're made alive in Christ. Yeah, this is where probably a lot of the Calvinist Armenian debate happens, chapter 2, because there's like God made some for objects of mercy and some objects of wrath, and who are you, O man, to say to God, why did you do that? Blah blah blah. But here's probably the most important part. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourself. So it's not a gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Yeah. Many people do like to cut it off and like, see, it's not by works. Yeah, it's not. Not by works. But if you aren't doing good things, and like James says, how do we know we really are? Because this is going to make you want to do good things as a thank you, as to have other people realize the goodness of God through you, your transformed life, to make the world a better place. It's going to change you. Yeah, it's not the good works that save you, but it's the good works that are evidence that you are saved. This is something people get. Oh yeah, again about being one in Christ. For he himself is our peace, who has made the two one and destroyed the barrier dividing the wall of hostility, that there is no Jew or Gentile, just one in Christ. There is no barrier, nothing. So stop acting like it. And it talks about Paul as a preacher to the Gentiles, a prayer for the Ephesians, that, well, they hold on to faith and stuff. And then it talks about, again, unity in the body. Let's stop splitting. Yes, just stop splitting. We really, really need to get all the grip on that. Living as children of light. Yes, spreading the gospel, living differently in the world. Don't live to the carnality of the world. Live to be good people. Learn how to try good, share good, do good. Yes. Yes, just stop doing evil and do good. Get rid of bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling, slander, along with every form of malice. Yeah. Now, does that mean if someone's being raped and you can't expose it? No, that's not slander. That's what these people want you to believe is slander. It's not slander. It's the truth. Now, here's where modern day people get in tizzy, because it says, wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. Now, does it say, husbands, you can rape, beat your wife senseless, do whatever you want? No, it says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Sorry. Lord, live sacrificially. Did Jesus ever beat the church? No. Did Jesus come home one night drunk and demand sexy times, even though the wife gave him one sexy times and he raped her? No. What you experienced in your childhood was real, was valid, whatever that means, but it was real. It did happen. You weren't at fault of it, and neither was your mom. She wasn't at fault either. It's just your dad wasn't actually living up to the Ephesian values, didn't care that he wasn't living up to the Ephesian values, and just wants to use Ephesians as some sort of an excuse so he can continue doing it. If Ephesians never was written and this was never written down, he would make up any number of other excuses because he just wants to do it. That's not shanky or removing any responsibility from him. No, it's letting you know how horrible a person he really is. Yes. To make her holy and cleansing her by washing with water the world. Love their wives as their own bodies. Oh, do you rape your own body? Do you beat your own body senseless every day, near to death? No. After all, no one ever hated his own body, but feeds and cares for it. Yes, then it's, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother. Does this mean if your father or mother are derelict parents who beat you senseless every day, does that make it right? No. Those are horrible parents. You should try to do things to get out of that situation as fast as possible. It's just saying don't just cut off your mom and dad for no reason. Don't just rebel against them because you're a moody teenager. Yes, fathers, do not expitiate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. Do not call it your children to anger. Guess is another translation of it. Guess what? That would include senselessly beating your child because you were a deadbeat idiot who came home drunk because he can't control, or maybe even she can't control her drinking habits. Because you're too much of a pathetic loser, and you think the depressant called alcohol is going to make you feel like less of a pathetic loser, instead of, just trying to stop being a pathetic loser. Oh yes, slaves and masters. Now this is a really controversial one. Why? and slaves. It's slavery. Again, does it talk anything about beating people senselessly? No. But the people who did it used it. Yeah, they'll use anything as justification. Again, they don't care. And you going with atheism isn't holding them morally accountable, because there are no morals in atheism. Yes, you can still be an atheist and think slavery is wrong. You just have no basis for it. So, it's like, yes, obey your masters because you serve them. You're not serving just not you're serving God. Masters, treat your slaves in the same way. Do not threaten them, since you know that he is both their master, and yours in heaven. And there's no favoritism with him. Do not threaten them. So, beat them senseless because they didn't follow a simple command? No. Don't even threaten them. How are you supposed to beat them senseless or do anything that the American slave system did? By the way, if we followed the biblical law, every one of the American slavers would be executed. Every single one. Yeah, that's your ancestry, Confederate sympathizers. The entire slave trade was based on kidnapping. That's illegal. Brutality. That's illegal. So even if you say, well, what if they were treating them nicely? Yeah, they were being kidnapped and forced into it. That's against the Old Testament. But what about this form of slavery? Yeah, this was slavery to pay off debts. In rare cases, someone would pick up a child who was abandoned and make him or her a slave. That happened too. But that's a little rare. And also would be against the Bible. Also, slaves could own slaves. Yeah. Caesar had slaves that had slaves. The Roman slavery system was way different than the American one. Still messed up. It's still wrong. Just very, very different. But yeah, how are you supposed to justify beating them senselessly and, almost killing them and treating them like less than human? If it says treat your slaves in the same way, how? By serving them. Wait, if you're supposed to serve your slaves, then are they really slaves anymore? No. Do not threaten them. You can't even do that. Armor of God. Ah, yes. And you know what? Here's something people don't. You should point out about the armor of God. It's not armor made for retreats. There is no retreating. You're in a battlefield. Act like it. Stop retreating. If there's anything Redeemed Zoomer got right, it's that Christians retreat way too quickly. Oh, Hollywood is getting bad. We need to leave. Why is Hollywood so secular now? Because you left. Let's just make the Christian version of High School Musical. No. Let's not do that. March forward. Put on the armor of God. Memorize biblical truths. Read the Bible. Commune with others. And then, of course, some final greetings from Paul. Next is Philippians. I actually said it without trying to say Philippines. I can break that habit. I don't know why it started. See you then, I guess.